from a little cover. I got my dreams in sight, wrestling on the mat. I go and put up a fight with every hold and slam. I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life with the power to share. From the roof to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam, chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Yeah. Hey, new beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my voice through, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this evening. I am Professor Burr, and this is the Burr's Thoughts. And guys and girls, it has been a very fun-filled, crazy, frustrating. I probably could think of some more adjectives, but I'm not. It's been definitely fun getting to talk to different promoters and learning more about promoting as a profession. It is a lot more work than I ever imagined. So tonight's guest, she is a return guest. I love people that I've talked to, and they wear so many hats. And this young lady, she is not only a wrestler, not only a promoter, not only a podcaster, she's just great all around. So let me introduce you to the owner, co-owner, correct?
Correct.
Co-owner of New Sound Wrestling, Amanda. Amanda, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on again.
No problem. You are such a fun person to talk to. So when this came up in mind, you were one of the first people I thought, okay, I know who I'm reaching out to.
Thank you.
So we're going to go a little different than I usually do, because you will be the third person I've never asked, how did you get into wrestling? Because we've discussed that. But I am going to ask, how did you go from being a wrestling fan to being in the business?
So that actually started about 2016. I had a friend in Sioux Falls who was he was a DJ on one of our radio stations here in Sioux Falls. And I was doing some promotion for the National MS Society. And he was talking to me one day and he said, "Hey, I know you're a wrestling fan. And I have Nick Dinsmore, AKA Eugene, who's going to be coming to the station to do an interview next week. Do you want to come and meet him?" So, of course, me, right when I first started watching was about the time that Nick Dinsmore came on as Eugene. And I was like, of course I want to meet this guy. Like, I definitely want to. So we met, I think it was the next week. His wife at the time happened to be from Laverne, which is the area, Laverne, Minnesota, which is the area that I'm from. And he said, "Hey, I'm going to start a wrestling school / wrestling promotion up here." And I said, if you start a promotion here, I will come to every single one of your shows. I did minus the first one. The first one I couldn't make it to, but every one after that, I started going to. And again, just as a fan, just, hanging out, kind of, just having a good time. And then there was a raffle one month, and it was for one of the raffle prizes was a free semester of training. And I thought, okay, I'll put my name in here, see what I can do. And I ended up winning it. So long story short, I did the first semester of training and it was really hard. I understood why a lot of people drop out after the first few weeks. Because yeah, it's not easy at all. So I started being a referee right about 2018, 2019. Kind of went in and out for a little bit. And then about mid 2019, I decided to kind of delve into it a little bit more full time. And that's when I started dating my now husband. And if my camera moves, it's because my cat is back here. She wants to be on too, apparently. So I was dating my now husband at the time. And I had just kind of gotten myself into the business without even really realizing it. It just kind of went from a fan to, doing some referee stuff to just kind of going. And then I started to become a manager for my then boyfriend, now husband. And he actually was the one that got me my first referee gig at Below Zero Wrestling in Fargo. I've also ref down at Magnum in Omaha. So again, we were kind of going through the motions for a few years. We had Nick Dinsmore ended up moving to Florida, so he sold his promotion. And then we had another promotion that was here for a couple of years, and some things happened, and they dropped off. They had to drop off as owners. And then the beginning of 2024, a small group of us got together, and we said, if we don't do something wrestling very well, independent wrestling in Sioux Falls very well might just go away. And we had this crazy thought that apparently we could do it, or we could try to do it. So we've actually put our very first show on in March of 2024. And I thought we did a free show at a bar in Valley Springs, South Dakota that has like 500 people in it. And I said, okay, if we get 10 people in this bar, I will be happy. We filled that bar. Like the bar floor and the little tiny balcony that they had up top. So that was that first thought where we said, okay, maybe we could do this. And then we had like our first paid show a few months after that, and we had about 100 people show up, which to me, and granted we're in Sioux Falls, so there's a couple 100,000 people, but to me that's still a pretty big number, like when we really think about it. And we were really only doing Facebook promotion at the time and word of mouth and just throwing posters around town. So to me that was okay, we could do this. And so now we are in our second year. I have to think about that. Yeah, we just celebrated 2 years of being a promotion. We have gone from 4 owners to 2 owners. So now the New Sound Wrestling is owned by myself and my husband. And that's where we are now.
Well, that is very cool. So the thinking about like, I can do this. But you had a good inside track with your husband too, with his experience and knowledge. That definitely helped. When had you had a point early where you're like, oh no, I'm done. I'm done.
Like from the wrestling side or from the promoter side?
from the promoter side.
Oh, before every show. Before, especially the week of the show, I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And again, for those of you who don't know, my husband is DeLorean Diggs. He's been a wrestler for about 10 years in the area. And I always say to do, I'm like, I can't do this. Show week is like horrible. Probably more so for him than me because he has to deal with me. But yeah, every week it's like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then you get to the show, and that literally just every thought about not wanting to do it anymore goes away. You get to see all the people having a good time. You get to see these wrestlers going out and doing what they love to do. It just, that feeling evaporates until the next show. And then I think about it again.
That nasty cycle. You love when you get to it, but the journey to it is
Yes.
So if I was coming to you and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a promotion in my area, what would be the first thing you would suggest to me to do?
I will go. I will go away from the answer that I would normally say, which would be don't. It is. It for me in my mind. It's hard to be a promoter in the first place. It's even harder to be a really good promoter. You have to realize that there are differences. Anybody can go out and put on a show. Anybody can grab a ring. Anybody can set it up in, a venue and put on a show. But if you want to do it and you want to really be serious about it, you have to have, in my opinion, you have to have that passion for wrestling. You cannot be in it for the money because chances are you'll be happy if you break even for the first few years. You just will. And I always say that being a wrestling promoter is like the most expensive hobby that I could have. And the reason behind that is because, when it comes to DeLorean and when we're putting these shows on, we're putting on shows that we want to see, that we would want to be in the audience for.
Right.
We bring in wrestlers that we've worked with. I mean, a lot of the guys that we have come in are not only local, but we bring in guys that we've worked with for years from Magnum, from Nebraska, from North Dakota, from Minnesota, because we want every match to be a great match. And someone at the last show told me one time, because they had been to every one of our shows, and they said, I can't think of a bad match you guys have ever had. And that right there is what you have to strive for as a promoter. You can make all this money, you can, have 1,000 shows a year, but unless the shows that you do are going to mean something to people, and every match that you put on is going to have a meaning behind it and heart behind it, my opinion is like, just don't do it. You have to have your entire heart, I don't want to say your entire life because that's kind of wrong, but like with DeLorean and I mean, this is integrated into everything we do. Like we talk about this every day. And I think that does show in the shows that we put on, because we do have that passion, and we've been on both sides, of the ring. We've been inside the ring and outside the ring. So we kind of have that experience, but it's hard. It's definitely not as easy as people might make it seem to be.
So the reason I started laughing was this is almost word for word what Bull Buchanan just said in an earlier interview. He's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yep. I swear 95% of promoters will say don't. Just don't. Don't.
And he, like I said, it's like both of y'all got together, talked on the phone, like, now you're gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this, and because it's so similar. Don't do it. If you expect to make money, don't do it. If you got a
Yep.
lot of money to throw away, then do it. if
Yep.
you if
I
you
always
got
say, like, I have this great hobby of wrestling because I also have a 9 to 5 that stresses me out Monday through Friday. It's like you got to kind of have that. You got to kind of have that balance, I think.
right, and again, it's just so funny because talking to different promoters and how uh people got started and why they do it. The why is pretty much universal. We
Hmm.
love it. If
Yep.
if we didn't love it, we wouldn't do this. And it's so amazing too, because I've talked to so far a promoter in New Zealand. I've talked to a promoter in dang, where was it? I want to say Australia, and it's the same mentality. It's for the love of the sport, and
Yeah.
I don't think in any other type of sport where the love grows so quickly and it almost take, like you said, almost take over your life.
Hmm.
And it's, again, me not being a wrestler but being a podcaster. My wife is sitting in there now a little upset. She's like, look, go do it. Why you don't spend time with me? Go do it.
Yep.
So you got that balance. And again, I never try to insult or make it seem like I know what a wrestler goes through. I don't, but I'm damn close.
I was gonna say you've talked to enough people and you've heard enough experiences that yeah, it's like you start to get to know what people are gonna say.
And it's so what I definitely love about now, because I'm a big history buff and I know a lot of different stuff. But what I love about today's wrestling is it's almost like the territorial days. You can go to so many different places and learn your craft, and that I can watch damn near anything I want. If I'm into Japanese wrestling, I can find it. If I'm into New Zealand wrestling, I can find it.
Hmm.
Hardcore, whatever. And I love that about today's wrestling. Guys and girls have so much of a better outlet to get their stuff out and people to see and learn them.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So, what makes New Sound different from any other promotion?
I mean, I could say that we're in we're in South Dakota and we are the only wrestling promotion that is independently owned and run out of South Dakota. Obviously, myself and D'Lo are in South Dakota, and I don't think you find very many husband wife promoter teams. I would love to know if there's more, honestly, because in my mind, you don't find it's hard to find women owned promotions.
I
It
agree
just
with you.
is. But I think what makes New Sound different is as much as we are into the wrestling, we are also into the storylines. We love being able to pull people in because that's what I love, and as a fan I want to see, and I hear feedback from other people that they like seeing is we bring the stories into it and we get you to invest in these wrestlers and these characters, and that keeps you wanting to come back and see them again and see what happens. We've had um we've had cage matches. We've had we're actually having a tables or 3 stages of hell match coming up at our show next month, um with one of our with our champion, and our champion's this amazing kid, and I say kid because I've known him since he was like 17. um it's the David versus Goliath. It's that kind of story. It's the little guy versus the big guy. We've had guys that have been up here for years that you never thought you would see them be a heel ever. Uh, Brandon Nitro, for those of you who are up in the Midwest and know him, we turned him heel. Nobody ever did that because he's such a natural face. We do what people aren't expecting to see. My whole idea is we want to bring those moments where you leave the show and you want to see more of it. Like you cannot wait for the next show. My goal is always by the time you leave the show, you're already buying your tickets for the next one.
And I love that. It's so amazing. Well, let me mention this because I forgot earlier. Um, Guys, girls, if you can look up and see the New South logo, that lets you know that you got the right new sound when you look them up. And if you don't want to do the work, I've made it easier. That QR code would take you directly to their YouTube page. So definitely do that and learn what makes them different and makes them unique. Now, getting back to what you were saying about storyline, I want to say most, if not all of the promoters I talk to are big into storylines. And I think, honestly, if you're not going to be in business long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even with matches for a one-time thing, you can make a storyline out of that. So if they meet again, you have something to fall back on. It's more story driven than anything else. And like I like to usually call it, the male soap opera.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And if you are not invested in it, if you can go to a wrestling show and not get invested in something that they put on, they're the failures, because you should be able to have people to draw your emotions to something to
Mm-hmm.
connect.
Exactly.
Um, tell me more about your champions.
So we have 3 championships. We have our tag team championships, which right now our tag team is Top Notch. Used to be Top Notch Entertainment, but they just go by Top Notch now. They actually just reunited a couple of months ago. And my husband is probably going to kill me because we have our alternative champion too, and his name is not coming to mind. My husband's going to kill me for this. um, but our main champion, our heavyweight champion, is Uriah Upton. He's been wrestling up here for a few years, so that's kind of our bigger championship. But right now, our going back to our alternative championship. Um, oh, don't kill me, D'Lo. So we have Jameson McGregor, who I believe is the champion, but again, we tend to switch that one up a little bit. But we have Jackson Slater, who's going after the title. We have Alvin Falcone, that's also going after the title. So they've been kind of in a 3-way back and forth for a few months. Sorry, I know I'm jumping back and forth. So our heavyweight title, Uriah Upton, next month is going to be facing Brixton Nash. And they have also been going back and forth with this title for the past few months. So they will be the ones that will be going through the 3 stages of hell match next month. And that match makes me nervous as a promoter. I don't know why, but it was their idea. So I'm like, okay, have fun.
So with with that being their idea, and I definitely understand why you're nervous, but can you explain to the audience what makes you so nervous about this?
Oh gosh, I care so much about every single wrestler on that roster. Um, Everyone we put on this roster, either I have known for years or D'Lo has known for a while. We do bring in some, people who have only been wrestling for a couple of years or so. Um, but I care about every single person that is on that roster for the night. And for me, it's I obviously I want them to be safe. And we thankfully, knock on wood, have not had anybody get hurt other than like a normal little muscle tweak. But you don't want to see that because you know how much all these wrestlers care about what they're doing. And
Right.
you just, as a promoter, don't want to see, that happen to them where they get hurt. Because they're sacrificing so much when they get into that ring. And yeah, I mean, it's I could talk for hours about how much a lot of people in that locker room are like my brothers and sisters. I have kind of developed this little mini family um, from being a promoter, being a fan, being a part of wrestling, that you just care. You care about the product. You care about the people that are doing that. So for me, that's the reason why I'm always kind of in the back. Like I'm the wrestling mom. I'm always like, please be careful out there. Please don't hurt each other. Please don't do anything stupid. I tell my husband that all the time before he goes out. Please don't do anything stupid. He doesn't listen to me, but I try.
I definitely understand where you're coming from. As much as I go to different indie shows, it feels, and I honestly call them family reunions.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you get so invested with people, not just the wrestlers, but the fans and everybody there just feels like a part of your family. And one thing I notice, if someone doesn't come for a while, who's a normal person that comes, say they missed two shows, when they show up for that third show, it's like, hey, how are you doing? Man, we
Mm-hmm.
were concerned about you. We ain't seen you. You sure you're okay? And it just that you become so tight knit, and
Yes.
it's amazing what wrestling will do for making people feel like family. I went to a show where I knew nobody. By the time I left, me and one guy, we were buddy exchanging phone numbers. I was laughing with this family with their little girl. It was like I said, just a family atmosphere.
Yeah, and that's how I really got into it too, because when I first started going to the shows that Nick Dinsmore was having, like I went by myself just because I couldn't find anybody that loved it as much as I did to come with me.
Right.
And all of a sudden, these people who were in the front row invited me up to the front row with them. And the next thing I know, like I'm going to every show and I'm in the front row with them and just hang out. And one of them actually was a bridesmaid in my wedding, and
Wow.
pretty much everybody from that front row came to my wedding. It's just you just develop that family.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Um, with your well, this is a question I asked one person, and I meant to ask everybody, but I don't take notes, so I can't remember. But this is a question. Your top championship, what is it called?
It is called the New Sound Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
Okay. The reason I ask this, I have a real pet peeve, very much, of a promotion calling their title a world title. That
Okay.
that irks me like nothing. And it's not to diminish them or anything, but I'm like, how do you expect someone to believe you have a world champion when you don't even leave your damn county?
Yes.
That
100%.
that 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 bugs me so badly. And every time I see it, I'm like, really,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad we did not call it that.
and I'm afraid I'm gonna have somebody say, "Yeah, we got the world champion." I'm like, "Oh," and then I'm gonna, in my mind gonna be like, "Should I say something? Should I just play it off? What should I do now?"
Yeah, I don't know what direction to go.
Yeah, like I don't want to make you mad, but I think that's
But
stupid. But hey, that's your money, your belt.
exactly, exactly.
Um, what is the biggest thing that's happened in your promotion that you are immensely proud of?
Oh man. I feel like, and this probably sounds cliche, but I'm like, I feel like every show that we pull off, it's like I'm so proud of it. We treat these shows like our kids, really. I think one of we've had a few people come in that have been on TV. My personal favorite, and I know my husband's too, being Matt Cross. He is a fantastic guy. We've had Paul London come in and wrestle for us. I have my wish list. One person I'm seeing on Saturday, so I'm hoping to bring him up. But I think I have to say probably one of the shows that I'm the most proud of is a show that we did not last summer, but or actually I have to think, was this last summer? Yeah, it was. We did our first ever cage match for a championship, and it was putting our championship from the heel, who is Brandon Nitro, onto our face, who is Uriah Upton. Um, Again, going back to being really scared, I was very nervous for that one because I wasn't sure. I'm like, are you guys going to bleed on the canvas or not? Um, and being able to the noise of the crowd, how loud the crowd got for that one match was just something where you sit back and it's like, we did it. And obviously I give all the credit to Brandon and Uriah in the ring, but that was from having to get it set up to having the match go on. I just top to bottom everything was great, and I'm very very proud of that show and that match that we put on.
And this is a question that popped in my mind. Do you all own the cage match, or do you
So we
rent?
we rented the cage.
Okay.
We rented the cage. I don't think I'm ready to put that kind of commitment into a steel cage quite yet.
No, and I definitely understand that. And last year, I got a chance to get in the ring during a match for the first time. I mean, during the show. My apologies. And it was. I've always heard how people get tunnel vision when they come out the curtains. Never did I think it would hit me, but as
Hmm.
soon as I stepped out, I heard my music for like 5 seconds and it was gone. It was just a tunnel of me walking and,
Yep.
and me just high fiving. I don't even know if I was hitting people's hands or not. I was just so hyped. I'm going around, I can't see anything. Then on top of it, it was a cage because all the matches were inside the cage. So
Ooh.
not only am I getting in the ring for the first time, I'm getting into a cage ring
Oh.
and I'm getting to cut a promo on the owner. And
Ooh.
I'm just, God, oh God, oh God.
Hmm.
And now I truly understand why most wrestlers get so adrenaline rush from it and can't stop doing it because of that.
Hmm.
It was like such an amazing thing, and almost to the point where after the show, me and the owner talked for a second, and he wanted my autograph, and I'm like, I was like, you do realize that you've made made my life just complete with
Mhm.
being able to get in the ring, cut promo, and you legitimately want my autograph. I'm like, well, if God calls me home today, it's perfect.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I still get that way whether, I'm a referee or whether I'm going out, at New Sound as the CEO. It's like I still get like I will be behind the curtain and like just ready to throw up. I'm like I'm going to get sick. And then you go through that curtain and all of that disappears. I probably couldn't tell you half of the things I've said in the ring, just because once I get in there, I'll just talk, and half the time I don't really know what I'm saying. Apparently it comes off pretty well, but yeah, it's that feeling that is hard to describe, but once you get it, it is, to me, it's more addictive than any drug I could possibly do. Not like I've done them, but it's just so amazingly addictive. It's just one of those feelings that is just impossible to replicate.
I promise you, I swear that you and Bull Buchanan had to talk because he said the exact same thing. He's like, I never was into drugs.
That is hilarious. I swear we did not talk before this show
But
once.
but what I love about that is such. I feel what you're saying. I felt him what he was saying. I, I've been very blessed to all the promoters I've been able to talk to, and a wrestler that during the conversation I felt it. It was like it was legitimate. If I found out someone was lying to me, then I would tell them they did a tremendous job because they sold it. They sold it. I could feel the passion come through the cameras,
Hmm.
and I think that's what makes wrestling so loved because no matter what, you feel that passion. I don't care if you are whatever you're doing with it, you feel that passion. And I think it's just such a great feeling, and that's what makes independent wrestling different than your WWE's, your AEW.
Absolutely.
It's that family feel, and to see to actually have a conversation with guys and girls, and it's like, wow, I just wanted to tell you, I was really impressed. Not that I'm anybody, but you know, they were like, wow, thank you. Had one guy told, and I told him he did such a great job that I really at one point wanted to punch him in the face.
That is how you know they are excellent heels if you're ready to do that.
And he said that's probably the best compliment he ever got. I was
Yep.
like, man, I was like, look, I know wrestling, but man, I swore I kept thinking, man, you come a little bit closer, I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna swing.
Yes.
Um, with doing everything you're doing and putting on amazing shows and everything, what is your 5-year goal?
Whew. So the shows that we run now, we run out of this amazing, amazing facility called the South Dakota Military Heritage Alliance. It is an absolutely beautiful building. And we get compliments on our choice of venue all the time. And like I said, we bring in approximately 100 people. The most we've had has been about 150. So we run average about that 120 range. And that sounds good to a lot of people, but for me, it's still not enough. For me, I want to see our shows going up to the caliber of the promotions that I look up to. For example, in Fargo, Below Zero Wrestling, they have a show coming up, not this weekend, next weekend. And they will they have it at a fairgrounds building, and they will pull in. Last year, they pulled in over 1,000 people,
Wow.
and that's Fargo. So it's pretty comparable to the size of Sioux Falls. My 5-year plan is in 5 years we can pull those numbers for a big event. Like if we have a really big, we're bringing in, like for example, at below there's going to be Hornswoggle, who I'm excited for. But there's no question. I mean, front row, second row, VIP is like all sold out. And that's something that I want for New Sound. I want New Sound to be able to, have these bigger events with the talent that you've seen on TV. But also, the local talent. I want us, in essence, I really want us to outgrow where we are right now, because we can't hold any more people. I think that building that we're in now could easily hold 250 people. But those numbers for me as a promoter will just never be good enough. Like you always have somewhere else to go. You always have, you always will have people that have never heard of you. Whether it's from next door or someone 100 miles away. But my whole 5-year plan is we're going to keep bringing these people in. We're going to keep giving them amazing shows, and we're going to impress them so much that they want to tell other people about it. Even the people that aren't wrestling fans. I want them to be able to, even if they don't watch this big stuff on TV like WWE or AEW, I want them to be able to come to an independent show and realize that's why people like this. That's why people have fun with this, because it is that intimate atmosphere where you can talk to these people and you can talk to the wrestlers and the talent. And again, like, will 1,000 people be enough for me? I mean, if you ask me now, yes. But once we get 1,000, I'm going to say, 1,200.
Right.
So for me, it's constantly thinking, how do we expand this? How do we make this better? How do we introduce this to more people so they can see how much fun this is?
And to me, that makes a good promoter. You're not satisfied with it. You continually want better. And who wants to work for anyone that's just happy with anything?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all work with other promotions a lot?
So we haven't done any cross promotional shows yet. Not to say we never would, because again, like I have said below so many times, below Zero and Fargo, again, work with Nick Stokey as a promoter, fantastic guy. Actually, fun fact, they used to be two promoters. The other promoter ended up having to leave because he is the producer / he's the guy that came up with the idea to have Maven have a YouTube channel.
Oh, wow.
So Maven was actually in my house 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's cool.
So again, wrestling brings me to situations I never thought I'd be in. But we also work with Magnum Wrestling in Omaha, Nebraska a lot. Their promoters, actually a couple of the promoters are also wrestlers, so they get to come up here. But the best part about that is, because of course we got Omaha, we got a promotion Omaha, promotion in Sioux Falls, promotion in Fargo. It's all on, the inner I-29. It's kind of that straight shot. And to be able to work with these other promoters and see what they do, because they want us to be just as successful. I love doing that. I've met promoters from other places in Minnesota, and it's so fun for me to meet these other promoters and being able to pick their brains and say, okay, well, what do you guys do? Like, what tips do you have? Because I think if everybody's just separated and doesn't want anything to do with any other promoters, I don't think it helps the business at all. I think being able to branch out and, if you have tips for other people or other companies, like not being afraid to tell them about it, because it's not about, taking away ticket sales. It's about building multiple companies at the same time.
100%. I love that attitude. And because I think like working together, you also can exchange talent, and that helps build the guys and girl up to be able to learn. Okay, this worked here, and if I go here and it doesn't work, now I have to adjust and
Hmm.
be able to be flexible, and that helps their career because
Yeah.
you need to be flexible wherever you go to draw people and be a name.
Yeah.
Um, it's one of the things that I really do enjoy seeing different wrestlers that I may know at a different place, and it's like, oh wow, you're here. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. It is such an amazing thing when when companies exchange talents. And um, I was talking to a promoter in New Zealand, and they're so far away. They were talking about it's hard to get talent, and I'm like, I imagine so.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, maybe you can talk to someone and work out where you send three, they send three, and they can work 3 weeks or so. I said, if I think there are people out there that will be willing to work with you, and but just to
Absolutely.
be able to say that and think, wow, I'm giving a promoter advice on
Hmm.
something I know nothing about, but it's like, maybe you try this, because like you, I've got to meet a lot of promoters, and most of them are business minded, and business means being able to work with other talent, work with
Yeah.
other companies. You have to, because
Yes.
you're going to get stale, and you don't want that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, what is the what is the thing that your husband do that irks you every single week before a
Oh,
show?
oh, before a show? Oh, Lord. Um, we've almost gotten to the point where we do our promoter thing, and then right before his match, we have to like separate. I don't want to know what's going to happen during his match. Um, because he likes to do things, if he knows that I'm going to watch his match, he likes to do things that he knows will make me mad. One of the things he does, which he has not done this for quite a while,
I
but
hope I don't
he would,
jinx you.
if he watches this, he's going to be like, well, I'm doing that next time. He likes to spike himself on the head. And now, mind you, he doesn't do it exactly, but his head is about that far from the mat, and he gives me a heart attack every single time. Um, I'm thankful that he's not done anything, at least at this point, to really try to hurt himself. The worst thing that happened to him was a few months ago. He was wrestling and he got a concussion.
Mm.
Thankfully, I was not there because I probably would have been mad at him. Um, but yeah, I can't say there's anything he necessarily does before a match that makes me mad, because we try not to get in each other's way. But
Right.
yeah, he just likes to do things during the match that he knows are gonna like make me nervous or make me mad, even though you know he's gonna be fine. But he tries to tempt fate too much, and I'm just like, why?
So, you said earlier you had a list of, if you could get these people to your shows. I'm curious, and I don't want you to tell me a whole list, but
Okay.
I want to know who's your top female star that you really want.
The top female star that I would really now, are we talking about if money was no object and contracts didn't matter?
Yes.
AJ Lee. Without question. I was a fan of her before, uh, ever since I read her autobiography, even more of a fan. I have a video where when she came back a few months ago, I literally started crying. Uh,
I saw that. I saw that.
yeah,
I saw it.
yeah, I was crying. She is, and I've met a few fantastic women from the WWE or who used to be in the WWE. Um, but yeah, if contract was no object or money was no object, AJ Lee would be at the top of that list for sure.
That's so cool. Um, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for not only doing the show, but for being the person that you are, for being a great promoter, for constantly trying to make wrestling better. I'm a big opponent of giving people their flowers. And some people are very shy and like, nah, I don't do nothing, this or that. But I think everybody needs to truly hear that people are thankful for them. You have so much influence in the sport I love, that we both love, that it makes me happy because I know it's in good hands and it's going to continue going way after we are gone off this earth. It still will continue. And for me, that's something big because, again, everybody can say they love wrestling and truly mean it, but I mean, I love wrestling, and
Mm-hmm.
and I have a little voice in this, so I always want to tell people thank you, and you definitely deserve it, and you have made uh, wrestling that better of a place. And again, I enjoyed you the first time, I enjoyed you now, and you know you have an open invitation anytime you want.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
You're so welcome, and you truly earned it. I mean, again, it's you, and it's kind of funny for me because I think when I'm being genuine to people and I've talked so much and have so many things, it can come off kind of hokey and not believable. It's like, oh, I'm just saying this to say it. But truly, I appreciate everybody who continues doing what they're doing for wrestling because we, one of the sayings when I was little, I heard, and I believe this to my bones, is leave wrestling better than you found it.
100%.
And you and your husband are doing such tremendous work. So, again, thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Do you want to give any quick shout outs before we end this?
Well, I just want to, yeah, give a shout out to everybody that is on the New Sound roster, has been on the New Sound roster, all of our New Sound fans that are watching this. Of course, go to that QR code up there if you want to check out our YouTube page. Also, we are New Sound Wrestling on Facebook. And as of a couple of weeks ago, we now have a website, newsoundwrestling.com. So check that out. I need to get better at updating it, but it's only been up for a couple of weeks, so I can't give myself too much crap. But yeah, and shout out to you for doing this and getting the promoters out there and the names out there. I think that's so amazing. And to be able to not only interview people here, but in New Zealand and Australia, that's amazing.
It's I definitely I definitely realize how blessed I've been, and one mistake turned into a worldwide getting promoted promotion. One mistake. So it was
Hey.
like I made the mistake and sent it to someone in Finland. Oh, well, they ain't gonna
Right.
answer me. I ain't worried about that. 15
Yep.
minutes later.
Here you are.
So
Oh,
yeah,
and also shout out to my husband because he'll be mad if I forget that. Actually, he won't be mad, but um yeah, DeLorean Diggs, check him out on Facebook for sure. He has a talent page and his own page, which thankfully his real name and his wrestling name are the same thing. So that makes it easy to remember for everybody.
yes, yes, indeed. Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining me around the campfire with another amazing interview. Um, I know I sound like a broken record, but I know if you are truly a wrestling fan, you can understand what I'm saying, and our passion about it is unbelievable. Um, and I thank y'all for being able to support me on my journey. Before I leave, if you know anything about me, you know what I'm about to say. Please, please, please support your local indie promotion. I cannot, I, I'm going to keep saying this and saying it and saying it. Man, you are going to get such a different experience going to an indie promotion versus WWE, AEW, any of the big ones. I'm not saying they're better. I'm not saying they're worse. What I'm saying is you're going to get a different atmosphere that I promise you, if you take your kids, you're going to give them a memory that's going to last them a lifetime. So you, and that cool thing of you can walk in with money and you can actually walk out with money. I'm just telling you, it's a weird concept these days. So try it out, and hey, I almost want to say prove me wrong, but there's always haters out there, so I'm not
There
going to say
always
that.
is.
But again, guys, girls, thank y'all so much for watching us. I'm Professor Bear. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will see you again around the campfire very, very soon. Y'all take care.